We're going to go ahead and do a video specifically for twin flames just to see what is going on for the divine feminine and the divine masculine today. We have a powerful trine happening between some fiery signs, as we have Venus, which is in Aries, and of course we have Mars, which is in Leo. Now this is important for twin flames as these represent spiritual union coming into balance, and when these elements come together, it is powerful for healing and uplifting and elevating your twin flame union no matter where you're at in the journey. So expect some beautiful shifts for your love life. This is actually a romantic energy where you should be feeling pretty good about things now. However, if you have things coming up, you might be working on healing, moving through things, or even removing certain blocks. But let's go ahead and get started and see what's going on. We're going to get started with the reading for the divine feminine first. Remember, this is just a general collective reading. Why I always tell you guys I do one-on-one reading calls. So those are phone calls. I do reading and coaching calls. And of course, I am an energy healer. And I do tons of healings, activations, and clearings on my website. This will all really, really help you. So if you're just looking to shift something, looking to heal, amazing sessions on my site. Go with what you're guided to. So only take what resonates for your situation as I do this reading, but I love to do these readings just to give you some insights. So divine feminine collective. What's going on for the divine feminine? Divine masculine. Sorry, I have too many cards. Divine masculine. If you're watching, direct messages from your feminine. I've committed to someone else because they don't challenge me. Now, this is not for everyone, but many of you will navigate third-party situations. I feel that's why karmics are, I want to say, placed in our lives. And I know, and this isn't for everyone, but some of you guys might be navigating third-party energies. This might be actual your person with someone else, or this could just be karmic cords that are blocking the union or the connection. We see this a lot with breakup energy when someone has been hurt in a previous connection and hasn't fully gotten over it and isn't fully open, we'll say, in the union, or hasn't been able to move into union. They might be healing or grieving or letting go of something that's already happened in the past. This could be cords, karmic cords from friendships, suitors, rivals, or even existing connection. It just kind of depends. Many twin flames have not fully done enough work to be fully in union yet. Oftentimes it is meeting this person that really kicks off that next level of your healing so that you guys can do that work individually, coming together in this union in a more healthy way or a healthy space. So this isn't for everyone, but some of you guys might be navigating. This could just be karmic blocks from previous connections where you're having a hard time opening up or fully opening up to this person or this connection in some type of way. Some of you guys are done with previous connections. This could indicate unresolved karma from it, where you're still dealing with some type of previous relationship karma, and it's affecting your twin flame union because you haven't fully resolved something from your past karmically, so it's still affecting you and still coming up, and this could be needing to heal something there karmically. We were too different. That's why I'm with someone similar to me. So we have a couple of these reoccurring messages. They won't be for everyone, but I always put them out there just in case they are for you too. So you're going to find your twin flame is like the yin to your yang. You're probably pretty opposite polarity to you. You're going to notice you're very similar in so many ways. However, what we're dealing with, and that's today's energy when we have this Venus and Mars astrology, it's different polarities but coming together in a complementary, balanced kind of way. And so you'll probably notice that about the twin flame. They will mirror and show you your strengths, weaknesses, ways you need to heal more. And sometimes this is on the inner of how they make you feel, or highlighting areas that need it. It just kind of depends. I wasn't honest with you about my feelings at the time. Communication is a must for healthy relationships. Some of you divine feminines are having a hard time communicating on that soul level, on that awakening level, to really get deep and share your side of things, what you're going through or what you're feeling. I'll say feeling because it's important that you're sharing how you feel. And this can add to misunderstandings or miscommunication in the relationship, or not opening up fully. It just kind of depends. So we have a lot of Gemini season communication astrology right now, but we have a block on the divine feminine side. So we talked about karmic blocks. That won't be for everyone, but however, all souls are here healing things karmically. And these are deep wounds that may come up again and again at certain points on your spiritual journey, awakening journey, or just over the course of your lifetime. This is the familiar themes. And I keep talking about this because we have a lot of Saturn astrology that's going to hit us starting the 24th. So it's very karmic. And so when we deal with karmic energies, you're going to notice that in some ways, yes, your life is your own, but in some ways it isn't. You may have had certain themes, patterns, or things that you're having coming up through your lessons, experiences, or even, deeper things going on within yourself that are karmic challenges, but things that you're here to heal over the course of this lifetime. It just depends. Everyone has a different path and what is kind of going on with you. I always honor that. But you're here to heal things on a deeper karmic level. And that karmic work is going to literally span over the course of your entire lifetime, in this lifetime. Of course, many lifetimes, but we're going to deal with this lifetime. So some of you guys are, I want to say nursing, you're healing deeper karmic wounds that your twin flame may come and play a part in, or they might trigger them, or they might push your buttons. It just kind of depends. But because we have the ego coming, so we have this karmic wound and some block there karmically. And it could just be not fully over something from your past, still dealing with it as a lack or limitation, or even current energies we were talking about. So we have the ego, and this is like all of the ways that I call them the masks, the masks that we wear, not trying to. And twin flame is like here to put you, real relationships are not going to boost your ego, because we have all these ego messages. They're not here to make you feel good and boost your ego in that way. They're actually here to help you, I say tear down, right? Tear down the false constructs, whether this is your life in the matrix and ways you're living out of alignment, or even personally, like ego and how you like to present yourself and things like that too. These are the illusions, I call them. And we have a lot of wake up energies hitting the planet right now that are here to help you to tear down your own illusions. And this is like things we create in our life that are not good for us. This could be how we present ourselves to the world, and how we hide aspects of ourselves, or maybe we're not aware of them and we haven't fully integrated them. So we have all of this crown chakra energy. Doesn't surprise me. Today we're dealing with the heart chakra and the crown chakra, and you might be feeling energy surges in these areas, opening in these areas, or even activation happening. If you have blocks in the crown chakra or the heart chakra, they may be coming up within these energies or being highlighted, and you can probably feel it in these areas or in your chakras. It just kind of depends. So this person, so we get in our head like what we want our life to look like. This person probably won't match any of that. Like, I know. And it's like the really seeing things on a deeper level with this. Like if you've been kind of in the superficial or in the matrix or in the ego, this stuff is coming up to clear big time during this time. And so when we deal with the ego, we're also dealing with pride, jealousy, survival mode, self-preservation, the walls, anytime we have walls for days, right? And letting your guard down. And we don't like that, because like I do a lot of study into this stuff. Like, right? And when we're talking about dismantling our defenses and protection mechanisms, right? They're there for a reason, because we feel they keep us safe, but they also keep us in survival mode. And they tend to oftentimes trigger our nervous system in an unhealthy way, which can trigger fight or flight responses, and, ways that we need to heal this stuff. And oftentimes when we're trying to do even the path to enlightenment, this stuff gets triggered big time. You're having to move past it or to heal it or whatever it is. And so these are survival mechanisms, and this is why oftentimes we act the way we do in certain situations, but they're hardwired for survival mode. Now, survival mode is okay. It's like the bare minimum of doing life. It's literally like, going through the motions, and that's the asleep state. And we want to awaken and like thrive. And okay, so we have the survival, which is bare minimum, and we all know it's not very great. And we've been kind of stuck in survival mode when we're asleep for a long time and not acting in our highest alignment. And we want to shift out of that. We want to heal that. We want to tap into, abundance and doing good and flowing and being happy, and like this deeper level, and within our relationships, this deeper level of connection and things like that too. And so a lot of times people are very comfortable with the karmic situations, but they're not very good for you. So we have all of this stuff that gets triggered on the twin flame journey. That's why I always encourage you guys to check out my website, because I paid attention to what to do to heal this stuff. But we have these things that are triggered, and I feel we go through stages that are not always apparent of the healing on the twin flame journey, because this is a connection that's meant to help you to break down things and to heal things. But oftentimes it can put you in like straight ego death, a healing crisis, purging a lot of energies and intergenerational energies and things out of our romantic life that is not healthy, of how we act with other people, our patterns and things like that too. So oftentimes you're being guided to really heal deeper patterns, and this is a part of your awakening anyways. And so this is like your twin flame and you are waking up to this connection, and they know the connection, they know who you are, they know that this is twin flame. And I don't know who needs to hear that, because oftentimes this is a reading for the divine feminine. Sometimes you guys don't see the masculine side and you think they're great and they're not going through any of this, but I reminded someone this morning, they have felt every emotion you have regarding this connection. That is moved not just through the connection, but moved through them. Whatever you've gone through, whatever you've been healing, whatever you've been working on, and whatever's been coming up for you emotionally too. Okay, so I brought a couple weird past life cards, and I love them because, of course, I get the Egypt card first. And I love this because perhaps that you and your twin flame, I want to say, existed on ancient timelines, but you're healing these timelines in the now too. So this is my ancient Egypt card, and I love it too, and things like that. And so this is rebuilding and repairing your timelines from them. You had a lot of cosmic, beautiful knowledge and past life gifts and abilities. And, you know, these were places that were structured around different types of society and the healing and the activation work. And we're bringing that back online now. Okay. So this is like also, so I have two of these cards, and I think they're very important because, number one, it's a lot about building, and we're out of the earth energy, but we're having a lot of that earthy energy still kind of come up. And this is about what you're creating, what you're manifesting, and what you're building. And I mean within this union too. And so if you have, a lot of you guys are in union, this is a message for everyone, so just take it as it fits you. But a lot of you guys have yet to really build that union or that relationship, because you will do so with this person. Some of you guys have, you already are, but some of you guys are like right there on the tip of doing something amazing through this union and through this connection with this person. And I love this second card because you have a lot of, I want to call it, we'll call them magic, healing gifts, spiritual gifts coming through from past lifetimes. And you're being guided to really tap into that and make it work for you. It goes hand in hand with the magician card too, which I love. And this is literally tapping into your manifesting abilities. This is like, you know, tapping into your psychic gifts and really tapping into that aspect of things and your psychic gifts and abilities. That's why healing the trauma is so important. You're clearing your vessel, you're clearing your channel, and the more that you cleanse and clear yourself, you start to really bring online a lot of this stuff. So we have abundance. Doesn't surprise me because I just did another video earlier and I was talking a lot about abundance, the sacral chakra. As you're healing your energy and going to that next level, you're going to tap into more money, healthier relationships, abundance. It comes down to the chakras and the energy system a lot of the time, but also a lot more creative energy too. So you're being guided to really work with your energy, to harness your energy. Things like clearing energy leaks, clearing cords, clearing your chakras. This is all going to help you so much to go to that next level within your awakening and within your ascension too. So maybe you're being guided to heal something. That's why I have such a big focus on healing your love life and finances. Get at my site, right? Okay, but I do. And so I've realized the importance of this too. Maybe you're being guided to heal things on a deeper level, whether this is anything with your sacral. It could be old connections coming up in this reading, finances, relationships, and things like that. And this will really help you. So sometimes our finances can be affected by things like karmic debt or old relationships, things we need to heal energetically, things we've picked up on. And I'm going to say this, I shouldn't, but sometimes your past relationships have actually transferred more karma onto you through your karmic masculines that you've dealt with, and you're clearing that. And the more that you clear the karmic connections, cords, and things like that, you start to get a lot clearer and you start to do a lot better in these areas. And your divine masculine has come into your life in whatever way to help you to do that and to help you focus on your ascension and the ascension work that you need. Focus on what you want. You are manifesting as you go. I know. You're telling yourself stories and they are happening. And if you have negative stories about your twin flame, they're happening too. So you need to really, really hone in on what it is that you desire, what it is that you want in life, and really tap into the power of the third eye. Okay, some of you guys have shadow work coming up. This is my Queen of Wands in reverse, which is the fire energy that we're harnessing today. But in reverse, there's some type of block here. Some of you guys might be too, I say control freak, but control freak, pushy, negative about the connection, but this could be being exhausted. And this is oftentimes what happens on the twin flame journey, because you're going through such layers of healing that it can be downright exhausting at times. Like literally this goes, and what comes to mind when I'm giving this message is the runner chaser dynamic. And when the masculine pulls back ever, it can be exhausting for you, because you're needing to go right to the source for your energy and not to them. This is why the dynamic plays out oftentimes very, very similar, even though there's many different people navigating this experience. So when you give up, when you quit and you stop trying to in full on pursue them or manipulate the connection, you end up exhausted. And then this is where the shifts happen. This is why it's very important that you are paying attention to what's coming up and being triggered in these spaces, but taking care of your energy too. We're navigating a lot of high frequency energy and we're bringing that down into the physical too. This is being jealous or manipulative. And some of you guys, not everyone, are working on those type of issues that have been triggered through this connection, and usually through things that are happening with your person. It depends on why, right? And stuff like that too. They may have sparked this stuff, brought it to the surface, dredged it up, or triggered it in some type of way, okay? To show you your own shadow traits and aspects. So ego is amazing when we get our way, and when things are not going as we want, this is where the ego gets triggered, and it's where the negative thoughts, the shadow work comes up. Some of you guys are facing some shadow work through this connection. It just kind of depends on what. So this person has definitely triggered darker aspects, but it's meant to bring a lot of healing and transformation as you are healing, clearing, and dealing with some of these things that has brought to the surface. Everyone's different. And funny, because I'm going to do the masculine side now, and I see a lot of mirroring of things going on, okay? So let's just do a quick reading for the Divine Masculine. Remember, do those one-on-one phone calls as often as you need them on my website. They're going to help go into your specific situation, as everyone is different, but I still like to do these readings. So let's just go ahead and do the Divine Masculine side and see what is going on for them. Divine Masculine Collective, Divine Feminine. If you're watching, direct messages from your feminine. From your masculine. Okay. Divine Masculine to Feminine. I kept up a facade to the world, but you always saw past that into my soul. And so this is what oftentimes makes the masculine very uncomfortable in the Divine Feminine's presence, especially if you guys are not that integrated and things like that, because oftentimes the Divine Feminine does project a lot of things like their own emotions and issues onto the masculine and things like that. But yes, aside from that, generally the Divine Feminine can really see through the masculine. I always remind the Divine Feminines that you guys can really see their issues. Like, they're not gonna like that. You can see the other person much more clear, right? And so you do. And then my favorite part is, I haven't got that with a lot of people. Then if you start to like flip the mirror of all the things you're complaining they're doing or don't like about them or whatever, because people go there, they don't mean to, but when we're dealing with healing these things, when you really begin to flip the mirror and you begin to say, okay, this is showing me some of my own shadow traits and things, there's no separation, there's just one. Okay, so we have stuff coming up. Sometimes the Divine Masculine can't deal with that. They're used to everyone seeing them on the surface level, how they present themselves. So once again, we have a lot of ego layers are coming up. Are you guys not getting along or having ego clash? This is where the ego starts to get uncomfortable and it kicks into protection mode. And this is where sometimes negative traits can come out and stuff like that, because you're dealing with the ego, right? It's quick to do things. So we have ego coming up for both. There might be even ego clashes or ego death happening at this stage. If in separation, ego death. In union, are you guys not seeing eye to eye or differences? I'm in love with you and I'm ready to take action. I want to build a beautiful life with you. Divine Masculine is really getting switched into gear, especially with all of this Mars astrology. There's a huge healing happening today for the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine side of things. huge healing for your relationships, your love life, finances on the Venus side, and Mars. If you've been feeling a little lazy, not seeing results, just want to get things moving, great energy for that too. Our love was too intense for me to handle. I needed a break away. And so we also have this divine masculine has been spending a lot of time thinking about their future, their life, and with the divine feminine, if apart, stepping up, if together, you know, taking care of these things and the goals that you guys are manifesting together. So many of you guys are being guided to really focus on your own stuff too, and to find balance with that. This could be work, career, business, stuff like that. You're being guided to follow your creative pursuits and to really, really make your own path, divine masculine. This is a twin flame connection. I don't know who needs to hear that. Like, a lot of times you guys want like confirmation. I always say the readings will help you guys with that on my site, but really tapping in and you're going to know, because it's a different type of connection. I always joke around and say karmics are like very fast connection. You guys will probably be moving in together tomorrow. Not funny. You just met, right? And they're very fast, whirlwind, and then they fall apart. This is a different type of connection to navigate. So you're going to know by some of the things that you're going through. If you're in a twin flame connection, you're going to know by how it feels, number one, but also by some of the stages that you might go through, because usually it kicks up a lot of your trauma and things like that too. Okay. Karmics tend to enable your trauma. And we have that rescuer, savior kind of dynamic, or fear of abandonment, which really is just afraid to be alone, or codependent dynamics. Oftentimes twin flame is the opposite of that. They're not going to enable your, I want to say crap, right? They're not, like, right? Oftentimes. So it's a little bit of a different type of connection to navigate. Okay, so we have, this person has been through a lot of loss. This could be grief and pain and losing loved ones on the other side. It could just be from, you know, loss of past relationships, friends. We have loss of self and identity. They're trying to find themselves again. And I think this is important, that in order to have healthy connection, we need to have a healthy connection with ourselves and to be in alignment. It can be very intense to navigate, bringing this all into balance, really staying in alignment with yourself and your own ambitions and path, and then with this connection too. This person might be needing a little bit of solo time, or a little bit of time apart, or if together, needing a little bit of space to really stay balanced, because we have this ego card coming up. These are the ego and things like that. So we have a little bit of ego blocks you guys are still working through. This could be defensive, not seeing issues, or whatever it is, okay? But this connection is very, very positive for you, and this is a different type of connection than you're used to, but it's meant to help you with your awakening. A lot of times twin flame can be used in such a powerful way within your awakening, and to shift into this union, you're going to have to actually do the work. And if in separation, you know, needing to continue to work on yourself. And that's why I love this connection, because when you're out of alignment with yourself, out of alignment with your twin flame, in alignment with yourself, and really, really in that higher frequency, they're going to be very right there with you. And they tend to come in and out of your timelines or your reality, especially if you're not ready. It just depends on your unique situation. So this is a connection where you actually had to do the work and continue to do the work to stay in balance and harmony. We have water element. Maybe one of you guys is a water sign, or you're just being guided to work with the water element more. And this is emotional clearing and cleansing. So I always think in divine masculine, you have your own stuff coming up. You might not show it, or you might hide it according to these cards, but you have things that you're working on releasing and clearing, in ways that your divine feminine has triggered things within you. This could be old baggage, inner child healing, old relationship stuff. Sometimes we have fears around relationships, loves, commitment, whatever it is. This person is helping you to release old energies. They may have even triggered you in a certain way. This is sensitive soul. You are meant to both be empaths in these divine unions. Like, you both are psychic, you both have empaths, gifts and abilities. Just depends on where you're at with that and how much you've developed that. But trust me, they're there. And especially within this connection. So even if you don't resonate with that, you're going to feel a lot of empathy for your person. You're going to feel what they're going through. You're going to feel their struggles even apart. You have that energetic connection. This is meant to be a connection that's meant to awaken you more energetically, so you can really tap into this person and kind of feel what they're going through more, or resonate with that, or you're going to have had a lot of really shared stories and similarities. So we have the Three of Pentacles, and this is also it's a strange card for this, but I always equate it with, this is confirmation of the connection. Like, I don't know if you've been questioning it, not sure. And sometimes because of the process, people don't always understand the connection and things like that too. But this is working together. I know. This is like, you guys are going to have to work together on something. This could be a project, business, twin flame mission. And I've been putting a lot of stuff out there because this is where you're supposed to be at, being of service, helping people and doing some type of community project, inspiring people, and stuff like that. But you're going to notice that when you do, these projects take off so much more than if you were doing them solo, that you're doing something together. This could be community work. This could be sharing your gifts. I always say, if you're confused and you don't know how you're supposed to be doing that, sometimes your mission is as easy as tapping into your gifts and what you're good at and how you can use them to help people. It's actually what we came here to planet Earth for, to make this place better and to make better realities. And it's going to help you a ton with that. Some of you guys, this just could indicate, I know so many twin flames that literally work together, like in the same place, or have very similar jobs and things that you're doing. This could be light work and mission and service work, or even jobs and things like that too. Okay, usually when you made your life plan and the circumstances of your life and fit it together, like, you're going to be there to inspire and uplift and help other people. So I know people that work together and they're there like helping the other at their job, or helping them with their service work, or, you knew your twin flame was going to do some type of huge job or mission, you could have been support. It just kind of depends on that. Okay, Two of Swords. Okay, some of you guys are at a crossroads and you might be kind of torn between, I always say, the options, but this is like not seeing everything clarity. If you haven't been getting clarity, or you've been feeling a little blocked psychically or spiritually, this could come down to emotional energy. When I see this card, it's oftentimes blocks still in your system. And then I've been doing a ton of solar plexus cards today. So let's talk solar plexus. This is where we have our inner child and old emotions and things like that. So you might still have some blocks going on there emotionally. And this is like opening these up. So possibly, this has been stirring up old energy blocks or traumas that you still need to work through or move through. You might have thought you were great and your twin flame came along, and maybe they've triggered a lot within you, or a lot of old energies to clear. Twin flames go through intense clearing and purification process. So this could be something going on with your solar plexus. A lot of you guys are integrating. We're last couple of days of that Pleiadian portal. And you might be integrating some of these energies and energy shifts from the solar plexus, which can either take a lot out of you. You might just feel like you haven't had your mojo lately. I know, maybe you're not feeling as inspired creatively as you're integrating all of this, and you're needing to get that charge back. Or you're just having old stuff come up, and we call that purging, and you're releasing stuff. Or you might be feeling a little lethargic going through all of this. It just kind of depends with this message, but you're kind of in between timelines. For some, this could indicate separation and union and being in the middle of that, or it just kind of depends. So needing to get some clarity. And when I think clarity, I always think energy clearing. So if you're needing to clear your energy, this will help to give you more clarity. And I always remind you guys, I'm always here if you guys need any healings and activations on my website. You can do anything in my shop all the time anyways. Take a flip through if you're needing it. It'll really, really help you if you're just needing to heal something, clear stuck energy, or just need a good shift in your life. Have a beautiful day. If you guys do need me, go ahead and book me on my website, sparksofdivinelighthealing.com.